Hi everyone, my name is Widya Miza. Today we are going to talk about water pollution, a serious environmental problem that affects not only marine life but also human health and the economy. Water pollution occurs when harmful substances such as chemicals, sewage or plastic enter rivers, lakes or oceans, making the water unsafe for drinking, recreation or supporting aquatic life. In Malaysia, this issue is becoming more alarming. A report by University Malaysia Pahang shows that rapid development, deforestation and industrial waste have caused severe deterioration in river water quality. Many of our rivers are now classified as polluted or slightly polluted. If water pollution continues, it could lead to more health problems, limited access to clean water, and irreversible damage to aquatic ecosystem. In this video, we will explore more about the water pollution and why it is urgent for all of us to take action.
Water pollution originates from two main types of sources, which is point sources and non-point sources. Point sources are specific and clearly identifiable. They discharge pollutant into bodies of surface or underground water through drain pipe, sewer line, or ditches. Examples include factories, sewage treatment plant, and oil tankers. These sources often release large volume of waste at a single location, making them easier to monitor but dangerous when unmanaged. In contrast, non-point sources are scattered, diffuse, and cannot be traced to a single discharge site. These include household and plastic waste, sediment, and runoff from urban areas, road, farm, and construction sites. Now, how does water pollution form? Based on the diagram, first, in the red skull, pollution is released. These include airborne chemical from factories, pesticide and manure from farms, waste from landfill, and leaks from septic system, gas station, and automobiles. Next, in the green skull, pollutant enter the water. Acid rainfall into lakes and soil. Rainwater runoff carries chemical and waste into river. Some pollutants seep into the ground and contaminate underground water. Finally, in the yellow skull, water become polluted. Toxin and waste mix with surface water and groundwater, reducing oxygen, harming aquatic life, and making water unsafe for humans. This polluted water may still reach home through well and water plant, but putting public health at risk.
Health impacts depend on the contaminant. Microbial contamination spreads diarrheal diseases, cholera, dysentery, typhoid, and can drive outbreaks in places with weak sanitation. Chemical contamination of drinking water can cause gastrointestinal distress, but also more serious, organ-specific effects. For example, some algal bloom toxins affect the liver and nervous system. The US CDC notes that both germs and chemicals in drinking water can make people sick, and that utilities must monitor and meet safety standards. Long-term or repeated exposure to regulated contaminants, metals like lead, volatile organics like benzene or excessive nitrate, can contribute to chronic disease risks. Though, outcomes depend on concentration, exposure duration, and individual susceptibility. Ecologically, nutrient-driven algal blooms block sunlight, reduce dissolved oxygen, and can lead to mass fish deaths and degraded habitats, resulting turbidity and toxins. Also raise the cost of treating water for human use.
So now we will talk about the regulation and guidelines regarding the water pollution problem. So first, there was a discharge licensing requirements. So the individual entities must obtain the license before discharging written water or pollutants into water source based on the regulations. Second one is standards and parameters. Before discharge of pollutants, the pollutant must adhere to specific standard limits based on the regulations too. And number 3 is fees and penalty. So annual license is very based on the nature of discharge and pollutants. So the charge will apply if the pollutants exceed the levels of the standard limits. And 4 is the monitoring and compliance. So the license holder must conduct a report of quality monitoring every 3 months, so that any accident that might affect water quality can be reported immediately to the authorities. The last one is the mitigation of spills and authorized discharge. So license must take immediate measures in case of accidental discharge of mitigate environmental impact, including notifying relevant authorities.
On March 6, 2019, a serious water pollution incident occurred at the Kim Kim River in Pasir Gudang, Johor. This happened when a tanker lorry illegally dumped about 2.4 tons of toxic chemical waste into the river. Among the hazardous substances released were benzene, hydrogen chloride, and toluene, which chemicals that are extremely harmful to human health and the environment. Very quickly, the effects were felt. Students and residents in the surrounding area began experiencing several symptoms, including breathing difficulty, nausea, vomiting, and irritation of the eyes and throat. The most affected were school children, as several schools were located close, only about 500 meters from the dumping site. Due to this, over 5,000 people, mostly students, required medical treatment. Some were even admitted to the ICU for serious respiratory complications. As a result, the government took immediate action by ordering the closure of 111 schools and allocating RM10 million for a large-scale clean-up operation along a 15 km stretch of the river. A scientific committee was also set up to study the environmental and health impact. This case served as a powerful reminder of the several consequences of water pollution, especially when a toxic waste is not managed responsibly. It highlights how unsafe children are to environmental hazards and emphasizes the importance of stricter enforcement and preventive measures to protect public health and our water resources.
In conclusion, water pollution is a serious issue that requires prevention, not just clean up. To avoid similar disaster like what happened in Pasir Gudang Kim Kim River in 2019, we need strong practical steps. First, we must strengthen environmental law enforcement. The Sungai Kim Kim incident happened because toxic industrial waste was dumped illegally into the river without immediate detection. If real-time monitoring and stricter enforcement were in place, this could have been avoided. Second, industry must follow proper hazardous waste disposal. All scheduled waste should go through licensed treatment centers, not directly into the environment. Poor waste management was one of the major issues in this case. Third, raise public awareness and responsibility. People must be educated about the dangers of polluting water, whether it is chemical waste, sewage, or even household plastics. Clean water is everyone's responsibility. Fourth, improve inter-agency coordination. In the Pasir Gudang case, multiple agencies only responded after thousands of people, mostly children, got sick. Prevention needs proactive planning, not just reactive actions. Finally, encourage better corporate accountability. Companies must comply with environmental regulations like the Environmental Quality Act 1974 and be transparent with their waste management practices. Let's learn from past accidents. Preventing water pollution is not just about laws, it is about awareness, responsibility, and action. Together, we can keep our waters clean and protect future generations.